Kickoff goes into the end zone. It'll be Father Ryan ball, 1st and 10 from the 20. Tapscott's pass complete to number 88, David Ward, moves the ball to the 25, 2nd and 5. DC Tapscott's pass complete to number 3, Seamus O'Connell, who takes the ball to the 36-yard line. It's a Father Ryan 1st down. Carry by number 10, Antonio Wright. Ball spotted the 39, a gain of 3, 2nd and 7.
Ball for 39-yard line to Father Ryan. You guys are going to play clock at 10. Tapscott has time, throws it out. Just incomplete. Number 20, Preston Sagan on the play.
Pass intended for number 39, Parker Erdman, is incomplete. 3rd and 7.
Tapscott has time. Clifton tries to get there. Down, ball loose. That's the city. They're going to say incomplete pass, and it is. And that's one thing that the Brentwood Academy defense talked about, is trying to get pressure on.
Number 66, Nate Clifton, with the quarterback tackle. Brings up 4th down and 7.
Sets up the punt. Here, Anur, the punt returner this week. Preston Sagan with a minor injury to a wrist, a little sprained wrist. So you'll give Anur just as much of a threat as Sagan back here to return this one. High snap. Good high kick. Anur's going to call for a fair catch. Makes it at the 24, and that's where the Eagles will take over. 1st and 10 from the 24. So Chris, last week,
fair catch by number 21, Tahir Anur. Ball spotted at the 24-yard line. Brentwood Academy takes over, 1st and 10.
Mario Pleasant is Wade Williams, touch it, shoots it, cross up and close to about the 30-yard line.
Carry by quarterback number 12, Taylor Montiel. Moves the ball to the 30-yard line, a gain of 6, 2nd and 4.
Receivers tonight starting, Colin Taylor to the near side, along with Taylor Ward, Preston Sagan to the far side, and Devin Curtis, your H-back/tight end. 2nd and 5 after the carry by Williams. I think Williams is going to have a really good game tonight, Chris, on the ground. They're going to get it to Pleasant over the right side. Hit once, not taken down, up across the 40, down to the 42.
Carry by number 5, Mario Pleasant. Brought down by number 9, Dylan Timmons. Moves the ball to the 42. It's a Brentwood Academy first down.
Beavers up the line in a hurry. Williams by himself.
Point right here. Paxton Perry had a 40-yard field goal 1 week ago. Kick is up and it's well through the uprights and good. So one possession for each team, but Brentwood Academy leading 7-0 here. I want to keep it here, Austin, because there's some things to talk about with the way this game has gone so far.
Absolutely.
We've not seen much throwing from BA on that drive, but they didn't need to. Williams.
Williams was able to do it on the ground.
And for Father Ryan, that's where they're going to have to be very disciplined as far as not buying on the fake. Easier said than done. Williams can execute it quite well. So now Father Ryan at an early 7-0 hole. Been rather temperate considering it's mid-August, 79 degrees. There's some humidity, but it's not like it was last week. There's a mild breeze. You're not going to see the flags on either goalpost move a whole lot, at least at the moment.
Now let me know if they can hear you.
So it'll be Cameron Hawkins back to kick off again for Brentwood Academy, just like he did to start the game. So David Ward on that far side, Parker Erdman the near side. Although Hawkins had a touchback earlier this evening and 2 touchbacks, at least 2, against Hillsborough 1 week ago. A couple other scores we'll get to here in just a second. A long kickoff. This should cross the plane as well. It does. Goes into the end zone. Automatic touchback. So Father Ryan will start again 1st and 10 from its own 20-yard line.
And coming up on this drive for Father Ryan, Irish Nation would need to be looking out for receivers such as David Ward and Seamus O'Connell, like we saw on that earlier drive there for the Irish. Hopefully they'll be able to connect and be able to get past the BA defense, because right now the Irish aren't able to get anything going against a stout BA D.
A couple of scores from Chattanooga where they started a half hour earlier. McCauley leads Madison Academy out of Alabama 14-0. Knox Catholic at last word up 7-0 on Baylor. Both those games rather early. 1st and 10. It's going to be a handoff. Antonio Wright to the far side. And there's just not much room. The ball is loose. It's a loose football still on the ground. BA picks it up. They're going to run with it and near the end zone and go into the end zone for a defensive touchdown. Tahir Anur. Tahir Anur puts Brentwood Academy up 13-0. And a disaster of a start for Father Ryan.
Absolutely. This is definitely not the start that Father Ryan was looking for. BA is just on their A game right now. They are able to. And BA is absolutely on their A game right now. They are making Father Ryan look silly. I hate to say it, but for now, Father Ryan really needs to get on those mistakes and make sure that they can communicate better. And and get the quarterback, running back situation under control.
Tyre Noor with the fumble recovery off of the Antonio Wright carry gets it into the end zone. We're less than 4 minutes into this game, and Brentwood Academy is about to go up 14-0. Snap is good, the hold is good, the kick is up, and the kick is good. So Paxton Perry 2 for 2 on extra points. Brentwood Academy leading 14-0. Again, we didn't talk about a lot of stuff before the game, just the way things worked out for us here. But for the Irish, and this is 1 week ago, they were like in a bit of a grind against Overton early, and then finally were able to take advantage. In this case, a bit more of a challenge, down 14-0. With that sophomore quarterback, Tabscott, only a second start.
That's absolutely true. And for Father Ryan, they certainly need to be looking towards their younger guys as well, especially on the defensive side. They've got a lot they need to clean up here, especially with their communication and making sure that they're on their assignments.
That Father Ryan defense could use the chance to catch his breath. It's not responsible for that second touchdown, though, as it was a defensive score for the Eagles. Those of you just joining us, Father Ryan lost the opening coin toss. BA deferred. Irish got 1 first down, then had to punt. Then it was a long run by the quarterback, number 12, Wade Williams. Ultimately led to the big man Gore running it in. And then the defensive touchdown, pair of extra points, and it's 14-0. The third kickoff, and as many tries goes into the end zone for a touchback. That's where Hawkins, with that strong leg, all he does is kick off, but with that kind of leg strength, why not?
And for Father Ryan here, I can't even imagine what Coach Rector is telling his players right now. I'm sure that they need to stay on the ball for sure and making sure that they are staying with their assignments and not getting any of those mental errors.
I want to tell them to just settle down a little bit. Yes, it is a 14-0 hole, but it's early. And while Brentwood Academy does have a good team, this is not the same Brentwood Academy of last year or 2 years ago.
Absolutely. We are only 4 minutes into the game, so hopefully Father Ryan will be able to get back into their rhythm.
8:11 to go first quarter. Irish down by 14. Tabscott in the shotgun under pressure. He's going to be hit hard. Back to the line of scrimmage, or maybe a half yard behind as he tried to keep it. See Gore in there, that big nose tackle.
Thomas Gore. No gain, second 10.
Thomas Gore listed at 6'2", 285, and he looks every bit of it. But a good athlete, too, for a 285-pound high schooler. That guy's got some wheels on him as he scored the rushing touchdown.
That's right.
For BA's first score. 2nd and 10 for the Irish. Their own 20, no gain on that keeper from Tabscott. He'll work out of the gun. A quick receiver screen to Nick Watson on the near side, complete to the 25, to the 28, maybe the 29-yard line. That's going to set up a 3rd and short for the Irish.
Well done by Nick Watson. A great pitch and catch there from DC to Nick.
It's going to be 3rd and 1.
Good job there for the Irish.
Into the game for Father Ryan. Noah Haley, the senior H-back. A couple guys getting in there for the Irish.
And DC Tabscott even went off the field.
Oh, they're going to go with a Wildcat look then. If that's Timmons in, I can't, from this vantage point. It's going to be a handoff. Spin move. Second effort might have gotten it. It will be close. And that was Seamus O'Connell in there. I love these new uniforms. There are not any sort of television numbers on the shoulders. So, of course, it's the night we get stuck on top of the press box looking down on. But whatever the case, that's why Seamus O'Connell getting into the offense.
Right.
You look at a kickstart, but now they're going to stay about a half yard shy. Irish are down by 14.
Circumstance there for the Irish, and we'll see if they will go for it. It looks as if they will, and now they bring in DC Tabscott.
Tabscott back into the game. Ditto for the senior David Ward, also a senior Evan Ruers, the receivers on that far side. So Irish are going to spread it out 4th and very short. They could try and get BA to jump here.
Certainly would be a good chance.
Tabscott went under center. I don't think he made it. There was just no push on that offensive line front. Unless he got some sort of very late gain.
Keeps the ball. The ball is spotted on the other side of the
And he's gonna,
line.
And it was very close. They call it a first down.
Well, you knew you had to meet the 30-yard line because of the touchback. You started exactly at the 20.
Right.
They get exactly to the 30. Not easy, but they made it work. So the Irish with their second first down of the game. It's a 1st and 10, 5:50 to go first quarter. Brentwood Academy leading 14-0. It's a handoff on 1st and 10. Antonio Wright, there was nowhere for him to go.
Absolutely.
These linebackers are starting to play up with impunity.
Wright brought down by number 8, Devin Curtis.
Absolutely, and BA just sniffed out that play immediately, swallowing up Antonio Wright there in the middle.
Inside linebacker, junior Devin Curtis in there. He was all over the place from what I saw watching the Hillsborough video. BA's victory at home against Hillsborough 1 week ago. 5:22 to go, first quarter. Father Ryan trails 14-0, looking at 2nd and 11 after the 1-yard loss by Antonio Wright. And so from the gun, Tabscott's going to be sacked. Thomas Gore got him and didn't let go. And the 285-pound senior brings Tabscott to the ground for a sack.
Thomas Gore.
And that was one of the guys that you mentioned when we were talking pregame, Lou. Thomas Gore, he's a bit of a monster, and he shows it right there. Just absolutely manhandling DC down there.
BA runs a 3-4 defense. That means 3 down defensive linemen and 4 linebackers, just like Father Ryan. They're both very similar, both offense and defense that they run. But a power like Gore on the inside can be a game changer. They're going to spot the ball for Father Ryan back at their own 24-yard line. They need to reach the 40. So 3rd and 16, 4:36 to go as we have a whistle and a timeout for Father Ryan. 8 seconds remain on the play clock. So the Irish are going to talk things over here on the sideline. This is jersey night here at Giacosa Stadium. The cheerleaders wearing some jerseys, some older uniforms. It was like a collection of Father Ryan uniforms from years past and some non-Father Ryan jerseys as well.
That's
So it
right.
looks like the early 90s look that I remember from way back when.
That's right. Paying respects to sports teams of all eras.
And his love for Father Ryan. We thank
Irish-
you and all
go
his
ahead.
Oh,
fans
sorry.
always
And I was going to say,
for their wonderful
like we were saying, for
support
this
of the
timeout
Irish.
is a blessing in disguise in a way, because Father Ryan really needs to regroup at this moment, because they've been struggling so much in this first quarter. And although we were only 8 minutes in, I mean, the Father Ryan Irish really need a big play coming up, because they have a 3rd down and 16 coming up here. So for the Irish, their O-line is going to have to really protect DC, even though they are very thin.
You might see a receiver screen. It was screen passes on 3rd and long for both of Father Ryan's touchdowns 1 week ago against Overton. They bring victory as a punt. The quick kick by the Irish will work. They're going to field it. Amore fields it. He'll get brought to the turf by O'Connell just on the Father Ryan side of the 50. They'll spot it at the 48-yard line. So the 3rd down punt, something we saw last season. It's unusual. I hadn't seen that since like White's Creek in the late 80s for Father. I'm serious. It's been that long. But in that case, when you're down 14-0, looking at 3rd and 16, try and get yourself some breathing room.
That's right. Especially in your own zone as well. You're still on your side of the field. Certainly want to have some room, and that's what Father Ryan chose to do there. Coach Rector making sure that Father Ryan can get set up here.
Only a 24-yard net on that punt, though. So 1st and 10 for Brentwood Academy at the Father Ryan 48-yard line. Eagles leading 14-0, 4:27 to go first quarter. It's going to be a fake handoff. No, it is a handoff to Pleasant. Pleasant pushing forward, getting that offensive line, opening up some holes. He gets about 7 yards on that one.
Carry by number 5.
And for Father Ryan here, their defensive line is going to have to really put them to work against a stout BA O-line.
Moves the ball to the 41.
They'll move
2nd
Pleasant to the
and 3.
sideline. They're going to have quarterback by himself, a little bit of a high snap. He's going to be a keeper by Williams. He has the first down to the 35, to the 30, look out, to the 25, to the 20, to the 15, to the 10, to the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown, Brentwood Academy, Wade Williams.
And there it is. BA just absolutely dices up Father Ryan's O-line or defensive line there to get an easy score. Wade Williams just breezes by the Irish defense and is able to waltz into the end zone untouched.
Well,
unfortunate there for Father Ryan.
You know, as BA spread it out, they went 5 wide receivers. This is not the start that the Irish either wanted or anticipated. So after looking at a possible 2-point try here, Brentwood Academy will set up for a traditional extra point. So at the 3:51 mark of this first quarter, it's Brentwood Academy up 20-0 with an extra point pending. It's a spinning kick, not as long as the first 2 extra point attempts, but it is through nonetheless.
By Paxton Perry.
So Perry splits the uprights.
3:51 remaining in the
At the
first quarter.
3:51 mark of this first quarter, your score, Father Ryan trailing Brentwood Academy 21-0. We'll be right back here on ATW Sportscast. Brentwood Academy leading Father Ryan 21-0. Be the fourth kickoff in the first quarter for this BA team. It is not scary enough for Father Ryan. Just with that, BA will get to receive the ball to start the second half. So a large hole here for the Irish, but plenty of time to potentially scrap back into this one. But it's just not been a good look thus far for the Irish.
Absolutely not.
BA looks like a much different team than 1 week ago when they were downright sluggish at times, just with so many guys playing both sides of the ball.
Certainly so. I certainly didn't expect anything like this to happen because Father Ryan seemed like, especially with such young talent that they have, you would expect that they would be able to keep it closer. But BA, they really do have a lot of good overall depth here, and they're able to, and like you said, they have a lot of two-way players that are able to have a lot of knowledge on both sides of the ball. So they've been able to really light up Father Ryan.
Now for the Irish. Going to have Tabscott back into the game. Seamus O'Connell, receiver on this near side. Also Patrick Erdman. They're going to split out. David Ward wide on that far side. H-back on the far side. Tabscott at quarterback. Antonio Wright, the running back. Haley blocking at the H-back spot. It's a little bit of a push. And looking 2 or 3 yards on that one.
And Noah Haley, not too much going there, but certainly nice to see him get some reps as well and to get the carry for the ball there.
Typically, if Father Ryan's got an H-back formation, it's either going to be Haley or Jackson Brown in there. Usually it'll be Haley, the senior, in there. So let's say a 2-yard gain for the Irish. 2nd and 8 from their own 22-yard line. 3:24 to go first quarter. Brentwood Academy leads 21-0. They tease the inside linebacker blitz, does BA, but they're going to throw Tabscott. And it falls incomplete, intended for David Ward. Looks like some bit of a communication issue there. Aaron Lovins on defense for BA.
That play right there certainly was a good thought right there, but David Ward and DC were just a few seconds off there and were unable to connect. And for Father Ryan coming up here on this play, they also have a substitution coming in.
Watson into the game here on 3rd and 8 as Haley will be spelled. Watson, he'll line up in that slot receiver position, but he almost is like an H-back when they need him to be, just because of his special physical skill set. So it's 4 receivers, 3 to the near side on this 3rd and 8. Tabscott throws to the far side too high, intended for David Ward. That brings up 4th down for Father Ryan.
And for Father Ryan, there is just nothing doing it there. They are just unable to get anything going in all sides of the ball. So hopefully Father Ryan will be able to take something away from this in the first quarter as soon as it ends, and Coach Rector will be able to regroup his guys and hopefully be able to get them on the same page, because they look very out of whack right now.
For Father Ryan, this is now their 4th offensive possession. They had a pair of first downs on 1st and 3rd drives respectively. Zach Wesnowski will punt. It's spinning midair. Bounces, takes an intermediate bounce at that 44-yard line, rolling parallel to the sideline. Be finally down by the Irish at their own 43.5-yard line. So Brentwood Academy once again will be starting in Father Ryan territory with this offense.
The Father Ryan punt is down at the 44-yard
and now for Father Ryan, all they can hope for is a stop, because BA is already in Father Ryan's territory. And for the Irish here, they certainly need to be able to handle BA's stout O-line and be able to get Wade Williams pressured.
It's going to be Taylor Montiel in at quarterback. Didn't even play a snap last week. Fakes the handoff to the freshman running back. He's going to throw the lefty. Has a receiver open. It's complete at the 25-yard line. First down, Brentwood Academy. We have some whistles. There's a flag back at the original line of scrimmage. Reception made by Aaron Lovins.
Penalty marker down on the play.
And it does look like this might be coming back here.
It is an illegal man downfield against Brentwood Academy.
So BA had a lineman downfield before the pass was thrown. Wipe away that first down. First penalty against the Eagles in this one. 10 yards from the spot of the foul, and we'll redo it on first down. 3 minutes exactly to go first quarter. Brentwood Academy 21, Father Ryan 0. So first and 15 for the Eagles from the Father Ryan 49-yard line. I'll leave Taylor Montiel in there, the sophomore. Listed at 6'1", 155. He's going to throw to the near side, complete. Missed tackle to the 45 to the 39-yard line. It's about a 10-yard gain on that one. It's Lovins once again.
Takes the ball to the 39.
And Lovin's definitely able to shake up the Father Ryan defenders there, unable to just be able to latch on to Lovin's there to stop him. So Father Ryan's certainly going to need to be able to work on those simple tackles in the open field.
2nd down and 5, 2:22 to go first quarter. BA's up 21-0. They're going to set the receiver screen. Lovins again to the 35, has the first down. To the 30, can they tackle him? Finally, 5 or 6 players bring Lovins to the turf.
And Aaron Lovins already just getting past the Father Ryan defense. The Irish unable to do anything against him and leaving him wide open there. It seemed like no one was able to get a man set up on him.
Very surprised that BA taking this tack, using Montiel, the backup quarterback, the sophomore. Williams, for as good of a runner as he is. It's going to be a handoff to the freshman running back. That's James. James breaks the tackle. He's explosive. Finally, William Edmondson makes the tackle around the 22-yard line. Jordan James.
And William Edmondson on the tackle there. He had a great interception last week against Overton. One that just needs to go in the yearbook. I mean, one of our photographers for Behind the Crest, Truman McDaniel, got a great shot of him in the air catching such an amazing pass.
It was a beautiful, and that's where I said the receiver was open about a half second before Edmondson flew into the screen and made that interception. 2nd and 3 now. It's going to be a handoff to James. He has the first down to the 15, tries to get the edge. Dancing around to the sideline, close to the 10. And he's going to set up Brentwood Academy 1st and goal just inside the Father Ryan 10-yard line. As we approach the 1-minute mark of this first quarter, it's 21-0 BA. And the Irish are in trouble.
That's right. BA already well into Father Ryan's red zone here. And the Irish are certainly going to need to be able to get a big stop.
They will spot the ball exactly at the 10-yard line, making it 1st and goal. So BA, absent a penalty, can't get a first down. And it's going to be a handoff to James. A couple of players in there. Did the ball come out? Irish could use a recovery if it is. And indeed, James fumbles. The Irish recover.
Well done by Father Ryan there. It seems as though number 12, Grayson Hubbock, was the one to come up with the ball. Well done there.
Father Ryan needed that. I don't think I need to tell any of you all listening, or certainly you, Austin, that. In fact,
absolutely.
Down 21-0 at home late in the first quarter.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Against the 3-time defending state champs.
Recovered by number 43, Matthew Beacom.
I was going to say Beacom. Beacom recovery. It's tough to tell coming out of that pile. I mean,
sure.
Hubbock was in that vicinity for sure. So the Irish, their worst starting field position, but they'll take it as opposed to giving up even more points.
Sure, and the momentum hopefully has swung to Father Ryan's side after that big fumble reception there.
1st and 10 from their own 7. They're going to play it safe, a handoff. Jack Victory's got Antonio Wright wrapped up for a loss. Victory, another one of those linebackers I saw on film 1 week ago, all over the place. He's been a key player for this BA team. For all the players they've lost to graduation, they managed to hold on to him for this final season as a senior. He makes the stop, but it looks like a 3-yard loss. And you really can't blame Antonio Wright on that one. He had nowhere to go, and Victory is right up in his grill. So 2nd and 13. Irish don't have to snap it here if they're not inclined, as there's only 5 seconds on the game clock, 13 on the play clock. But out of the gun, Tabscott's going to throw. David Ward falls incomplete, about a half to a full step ahead of him on the throw. So that'll be the last play of this first quarter. So after 1, your score, Brentwood Academy 21, Father Ryan 0. We'll be right back here on ATW Sportscast. Start the second quarter here at Giacosa Stadium. Lou Pickney and Austin Wright with you on what has not been a good start for the Irish, to put it mildly.
Absolutely. This is certainly not the start that the Father Ryan Irish were looking for here. Down 21-0 after the first quarter. BA strikes early. Their first touchdown came 4 minutes into the game. And for Father Ryan here, they're certainly going to want to be able to turn the tide as they did with a great fumble recovery there by the Father Ryan defense. And so hopefully with that, the momentum is swung to their side. But we shall see how the Irish will be able to respond, because they are in a hole mentally and on the scoreboard.
Sorry for your bleed over from the PA announcer. We got stuck up here at the last minute. These are the things you got to deal with. I'm sure you were aware of it. So they're about to start the second quarter here on the campus of Father Ryan High School. Irish close up the homestand 1 week from tonight. Stratford coming in to take on the Irish. So it'll be 3rd and 13 for Father Ryan from their own 4-yard line. They need to make it to about the 17.5. Tabscott sets up the receiver screen that's dropped. Intended for Seamus O'Connell. And that's almost apropos for how it's been for Father Ryan in this game. Just things have not worked out.
Absolutely. Father Ryan has just absolutely dropped the ball in this game. It's very surprising compared to last week. They seem to be a very well-oiled machine, especially compared to Overton, who had a lot of players cramping up and looking almost distraught in a way, just in the sense that they were just not quite prepared for the game. So for Father Ryan, this is just a very stark contrast to their game last week.
I've gained respect for Hillsborough's line. I'll put it like that. So 4th and 13 for Father Ryan from their own 4. Irish down 21-0. They're going to punt. Wisnowski, a high skier. Moore fielded the 39 to the 35. Look out to the 30. He's going to cut it back to the 25. And that's what probably be brought down maybe the 26-yard line. Tahir Anur.
Return by number 21, Tahir Anur.
Tahir Anur is certainly a nuisance for the Father Ryan kick team there. So hopefully the Irish will be able to defend well on this series. They certainly need another good defense. Certainly need another play, such as another fumble recovery. But we shall see how the Irish will be able to respond against a good BA squad.
So Brentwood Academy up 21-0 early second quarter, and they've got the ball again deep in Father Ryan territory. The Newar's return will set things up for the Eagles at the Irish 26-yard line. They're going to go 3 receivers, 2 to the far side. Double tight end look, and they're going to pull to set up the run. And that's Tamario Pleasant. They try and go low. He bounces off one tackler, and finally a couple of Irish defenders bring him down.
And there goes Tamario Pleasant again. There's certainly another player to watch for BA who has already been a very good player against the Father Ryan defense. So we shall see what Father Ryan will be able to do to contain him. We'll see what Wade Privet, the defensive coordinator for Father Ryan, has up his sleeve.
Matthew Zito tried to go low on the tackle. I like the idea, but it shows the leg strength of Pleasant, the senior, at running back. They're going to fake it to him. Williams is going to roll to the far side. He's going to throw. It's incomplete.
Close call there for Father Ryan. If the receiver had caught that one there, he could have had a hole to run through. That pass was intended for Tamario Pleasant.
So they sent Pleasant from the backfield out. Unable to bring it in. 3rd and 1, Brentwood Academy from the Father Ryan 17-yard line. BA leads 21-0. So on this 3rd and short, Williams is going to keep it himself. No, he's going to hand it off to Pleasant. Pleasant gets twisted around but gets the first down. That moves the chains once again for Brentwood Academy.
Number 5, Tamario Pleasant with a carry.
BA just keeps churning and churning and churning. They're here in the red zone. And Father Ryan's defensive line seems to be getting worn down slowly but surely. We will see how they will have to respond, because this BA offense is not slowing down.
I thought it was Patrick Emhoff in there. So 1st and 10 for BA. Another run Pleasant to this near side. Nice tackle right there.
Tamario Pleasant with a carry. Brought down by number 43, Matthew Beacom.
So we'll give Beacom credit for the stop. Also saw Jackson Brown in there as well.
Gain of 1.
So 1-yard gain for BA. 2nd and 9 from the Irish 11-yard line. 10-13 to go second quarter. Brentwood Academy leads 21-0. And with 21 seconds on the play clock, they're content to take their time. They set things up at the line of scrimmage. They have to get the ball inside the Father Ryan 3 to get a first down. It's going to be a handoff to Pleasant. He slices through. Touchdown Brentwood Academy.
Carried by number 5, Tamario Pleasant into the end zone for Brentwood Academy.
Tamario Pleasant, there he goes again. Just absolutely blowing through the Father Ryan defense, who's unable to connect and be able to tackle him. Father Ryan's defense is just unable to be able to sniff out the plays like BA has. And so for Father Ryan, they certainly are going to need to be able to regroup here and figure out what they need to do.
The Irish are in a colossal hole, to put it mildly. They're going to go for 2. They're going to toss the ball over to that far side, and he gets in for the 2-point conversion. Tyira Noor, he returns punts. He scores 2-point conversions. So it's 29-0. BA leading Father Ryan. 9:54 to go second quarter. And Austin, you think about 1 year ago, Father Ryan playing at Brentwood Academy. It was a one-possession game in the fourth quarter, or close to the fourth quarter in that one. And I figure this game, Father Ryan, a year stronger. Obviously some players lost from Father Ryan as well, but 21 seniors from last year's BA team. But you look what they've done so far, and you got to tip your cap to the Eagles. They played an exceptional game thus far.
Absolutely. It's almost, I would almost compare it to Alabama, where they just cycle through players over and over, and they are just able to get talent just every single year and be able to rebuild every single year. And they are just not letting up here against Father Ryan.
And the thing is, for BA, a lot of that talent doesn't necessarily have the game experience just because there were so many talented players in front of them.
Right.
And so this is going to be kickoff number 5 for Cameron Hawkins. His first 4 attempts have all gone into the end zone for the automatic touchback. Ward is the near man. Parker Erdman on that far side. If for some reason Hawkins is unable to reach the end zone with this one. And again, Stratford here 1 week from tonight, 2 weeks from tonight, head up to Hendersonville to take on JP2, try and win back the Bishop's Cup. It's a line drive kickoff that'll be returnable by Ward. Muffed it, picked it back up to the 10, to the 15, and they'll be tackled around the 17-yard line. So even worse than a touchback, tackle inside your own 20, but Ward, after having trouble bringing it in initially, at least made something out of it.
Ball spotted at the 17.
That's right. Certainly a scary play there for the Irish. David Ward unable to control that ball, but that seems like that's the way the game's been going so far for the Irish. And so Father Ryan coming up on this drive, they certainly will need to be able to get back in a rhythm and hopefully just get the ball started off with Antonio Wright, hopefully running well at running back, and hopefully be able to get some play action passes off of that.
Tab Scott back in at quarterback. A sophomore down 29-0. Kind of see what he has to offer here on this 1st and 10 with 2 receivers to the near side. It's going to be a run. Antonio Wright finally breaks through to 25, tackled near the 30-yard line. That's a first down for the Irish.
And finally, an explosive play here for Father Ryan. Antonio Wright getting a great 12-yard rush there.
Antonio carries it all the way to the 30-yard line.
And so for Father Ryan, that's exactly what they needed to get their rhythm going again and setting up the ground game.
And that's the way it typically works for Father Ryan. The running game makes the defense adjust, and in turn, the passing game opens up. 3 receivers, 2 to that far side. Tabscott on that near hash, going to hand it off, and he's going to keep it himself. Tabscott running with it for about a 5-yard gain.
The big man for Father Ryan, DC Tabscott, taking it himself down in the middle of the field for just a 5-yard gain, so well done by him.
Last week, they had several opportunities where it looked like he could run the ball. He chose not to in most cases, but in that one, the keeper works, gets 5 yards. 9 minutes to go, second quarter. Brentwood Academy leads Father Ryan 29-0. Tabscott from the shotgun. Again, a 3-receiver look. And again, he's going to keep it himself. Calls his own number, as it were. And he'll gain about 4 yards. That's going to set up a 3rd and short.
And now this is a critical play for Father Ryan to continue their drive, because if they want to be able to put some points on the board, this play has to be converted because they are still in their own zone on the field.
Elijah Oatsfall, sophomore on the stop. His older brother Jeremiah Oatsfall now up at Austin P. Such a talented quarterback for this Eagles team. So 3rd and short. They'll say 3rd and 1 for the Irish from their own 39-yard line. They got to get to the 40. When the H-back in motion. It's Seamus in there. Quarterback Seamus gets the first down. He's going to slip through and get past midfield. Okay, Father Ryan mixing it up a bit. After a pair of runs by Tabscott, it's Seamus back at quarterback. And it's a second first down. The first drive in this game with multiple first downs for Father Ryan.
That's right.
And I really hope you can hear me over the speaker that's right in front of me. I mean, nothing you can do about it, but that's
just part of the business.
So
just how it goes. But yeah, certainly a great run by Seamus O'Connell. It's good to see that they were able to get a hole there against the BAD line for a great 11-yard gain. Now the ball at the 50-yard line.
Again, 3 receivers. Haley in as the H-back. On the near side, Tabscott the quarterback. He's going to send Antonio Wright, the running back, in motion. Or check, they still have Seamus in there. There's O'Connell at quarterback, but flags fly. It appears to be against Father Ryan.
It appears Father Ryan's going to try and keep BA on their heels, switching up quarterbacks here with Seamus O'Connell and DC Tabscott.
5-yard penalty.
So it's 5 yards the wrong way for Father Ryan, and it becomes 1st and 15.
We'll redo
The
first
Irish's
down, 1st and
45-yard line, 7:41 to go second quarter. Brentwood Academy leads 29-0.
And again, just hearing that score again, 29-0 with 7:30 remaining in just the second quarter here. One more score for BA, for a touchdown rather, and they will be able to enforce the mercy rule.
The running clock doesn't start until the second half, though. The Irish can't think about that right now.
That's right.
Seamus remains in at quarterback, and he's going to be sacked. There's not much you could do on that one, Seamus.
Absolutely.
O'Connell tried to get away, but it was Uriah Lanier,
By number 51,
the senior defensive
Uriah
end.
Lanier. Ball moves back to the 38-yard line. It's
So
gonna be
the
second
5-yard
and
penalty,
21.
the 7-yard loss. And now Father Ryan faces 2nd and 22, passing 7 minutes to go in this second quarter. BA leading 29-0. This time it'll be Seamus at receiver, going out to that far side. Pair of receivers on the near side. Tabscott back in at quarterback with his strong arm on 2nd and 22. He may air it out here. And this is going to be a handoff. Antonio Wright. He'll be brought down around the Irish 42-yard line. 4-yard gain on that one.
Antonio Wright with the carry. Brought down by
And a
number
long
66,
third
Nathan
down
Clifton.
coming up for Father Ryan here. We'll see what they will be doing, but
Ball moves up to the
wouldn't be surprised if they
42-yard
punted
line.
again, just considering the
It's gonna
fact
be
that they are
3rd
still
and
in their
18.
zone and they are down. A big deficit here with 6:20 remaining in the second quarter.
Nate Clifton on the stop, defensive end. And again, this is a senior-laden defensive front three for Brentwood Academy. 3rd and 18. It is a quick kick. You called it. It's Seamus in there. It's going to take an Irish bounce inside the 15, inside the 10. Ward's down there. Don't get too greedy, guys. They're going to pin it at the 1-yard line. So the Irish,
And a very, very
Quick
good
kick
bounce
rolls
there
all
by
the way
Seamus O'Connell's
down
kick.
inside the
that's a
1-yard line.
57-yard punt with no return. So that's the advantage when you have Seamus in there as the QB.
Academy ball, 1st and 10 from inside the 1.
And much like Jackson Bird was last year, Seamus O'Connell proving himself to be the Swiss Army knife for Father Ryan's offense, or for Father Ryan this year.
And it's not the worst decision there on 3rd and long, like you mentioned. Again, it's
Right.
29-0, but nevertheless, that will pin BA back. I mean, it's as close as you can get to the goal line without it being on the goal line. So,
Right.
so BA has 99 yards to go if they want to punch another one in. They lead 29-0, 5:57 to go second quarter.
Certainly a lot of green here for BA and certainly a close quarters here for Father Ryan to work with. So hopefully they can possibly get BA.
Hand off to Pleasant. Pleasant has the sideline. This could be a track race to the 50. Irish are closing that one. He's going to cut it back and finally be tackled at the 36-yard line. So one play and one exceptionally long run for Tamario Pleasant. Grayson Hubbock finally made the stop.
35-yard line. It'll be Eagle first down.
So they went from their own 1-yard line to the Father Ryan 35-yard line on that long run.
And Tamario Pleasant, he can certainly do that just in one play. He has that ability and that explosiveness just to get past the Father Ryan defensive players.
54 yards on the carry. It's going to be Williams, the quarterback position. He's going to pitch it to the far side to Brooks. Billy Brooks gets the pitch, and he'll lose a couple of yards. Father Ryan sniffed that one out.
Billy Brook.
A good tackle there by Anthony Wright, brother of Antonio Wright, the
Brought down by
head
number
running
12,
back for
Grayson
Father
Hubbock,
Ryan.
and 15, Anthony Wright.
Yeah, as the
Ball
announcer
spotted
also
the
noted
37-yard
Hubbock in
line.
there from that
Loss of
corner
2,
spot, helping
2nd
out
and 12.
That's right.
with Wright at that far outside linebacker position. 2nd and 11 for Brentwood Academy, leading 29-0. 5:12 and counting in this second quarter. And so with Williams in at quarterback, 3 receivers, 2 to the near side. There's a mix-up in the backfield between Brooks and Williams. And there's a takedown for a loss. Nice job defensively for Father Ryan right there.
Billy
Matthew
Brooks with the
Zito
carry.
and others getting in there, but Zito with a
Brought
tackle.
down for no gain by number
Absolutely.
36,
A great
Matthew
play
Zito.
there for Father Ryan to be able to
3rd and
sniff
12.
out the play against BA and get them back.
Well, they may give forward progress. At least they got it to the Father Ryan 37-yard line. So 3rd and 12. 4:34 to go in this late in this first half. Looking at 3rd and 11 with 15 seconds on the play clock. It's a 5 receiver look. Williams by himself there in the backfield. He's going to run with it. Not a surprise there. To the 30. To the close to the 20-yard line. Just cutting through that Father Ryan defense that was spread out.
Carried by
Took
number
quite a bit of
12,
effort to
Wade
bring him down.
Williams.
And Williams, and again, he had two completions last week, and he ran the ball a bunch. But in this case, Father Ryan thinking he might throw it. Instead, he ran up the middle, able to take advantage. And it's going to be finally spotted at the Father Ryan 19-yard line. 1st and 10 Eagles. They lead 29-0. Less than 4 minutes to go in this first half.
And Wade Williams' speed certainly showed right there with his shiftiness to get past the Father Ryan defense. Just able to slip by and get a great gain there for BA. Now on Father Ryan's 19.
So the H-back in motion to the far side. And that's going to set the carry to Mario Pleasant. Good job on the tackle there by the Irish. Try and peer it in over the bodies, and the guys got their numbers tucked into their pads. Attempt to identify who made that tackle for Father Ryan.
Number 5, Tamario.
It may have been Watson.
Carry moves the ball to the 16-yard line, 2nd and 7.
May have been Nick Watson from that strong safety position. 2nd and 7 now after the 3-yard gain by Pleasant. 3:14 to go, second quarter. Brentwood Academy leads 29-0. And again, Pleasant, the running back to the right of Williams. Or check that. A throw to the near side. Lovins skips out of a tackle. Nearly breaks a second ankle tackle. Be brought down inside the Father Ryan 5-yard line. It was actually Brookson at running back. They faked to him. Opened up the pass to Lovins.
Lovins brought down by number 34, Mitchell.
Certainly something you don't want to see there for Father Ryan. Now BA's got the ball on Father Ryan's 3-yard line. A big stop needed here for the Father Ryan Irish.
Hart's on the stop. Irish rushing some fresh players on this one. Some confusion for Father Ryan. 1st and goal for the 3. BA fakes the pitch. We have a flag come in. So wait and see what the call is.
It is a dead ball
if they blow it dead, it's almost always on the offense unless it's like a defensive player unabated to the quarterback. Or unless a defensive player moves into the neutral zone and induces an offensive player to move. It's half the distance to the goal if it's against Father Ryan, which would be about 1.5 yards, or it's 5 yards against BA. Well, okay, so after, how do you blow the whistle and stop a play mid-play and then say, oops, and now another flag comes out. 29-0 Brentwood Academy. They're knocking on the door. 2:31 to go here in this second quarter. And I really thought this was going to be a hard-fought back-and-forth game.
Absolutely, me as well. It's certainly a bit shocking to see that Father Ryan is down this much already in just the first half, Lou.
So, Father Ryan with the illegal substitution penalty. So 1st and goal from the 3 becomes 1st and goal from inside the 2-yard line. Irish are going to send the freshman nose tackle Heron into the game. Big body in there on this 1st and goal. It's a pitch to Mario Pleasant. And it's another touchdown for Brentwood Academy.
And there he goes again, Tamario Pleasant. Another score for him, and BA just continues to cram it down. Father Ryan's third here with a lead 35-0 with 2 minutes remaining in the first half. And Father Ryan, they certainly are going to have one heck of a halftime talk coming up with Coach Rector. They are certainly going to hear it from him, trying to see how they will be able to regroup here coming up in the second half.
So Brentwood Academy lining up possibly to go for 2. They did that earlier successfully. Father Ryan will set up, try and block the extra point. It's been smooth sailing thus far from Paxton Perry. It's a line drive kick.
Extra point attempt is up
and it's
and
good.
2:14
So,
remaining in the first half.
A little more than 2 minutes to go in this second quarter. It's 36-0 Brentwood Academy. And unless the Irish can get a score of some sort between now and halftime, the second half will start with a running clock.
Certainly something Father Ryan does not need, because they need as much time as they can get to get as many scores as possible, because for now they have not had much going on the offensive side, and certainly the defense has been worn down because of how much they'd have to play, because the Father Ryan offense is unable to stay on the field too long.
Everybody's welcome to sample the barbecue and enjoy the evening.
You would have thought coming into this game plan wise, you try and force Williams to throw the ball,
right,
and key in on the very talented Tamario Pleasant, but that hasn't happened. And when they need to throw the ball, they brought in the backup quarterback that they've been hiding last week. I give BA a lot of credit for being able to find the mistakes they made last week against Hillsborough and certainly remedy them, at least the way it's looked tonight.
That's true.
Is the kickoff specialist Hawkins. He'll go on the 1 bounce. Be fielded by the 3, to the 10, to the 15, to the 20. David Ward to the outside, to the 30. Can he turn the corner? No, but he brought down at the 33-yard line. Nice return there by David Ward. And actually, if you can believe this, one of the better starting field positions for the Irish. Their own 33. So 2:02 to go. Irish with 2 timeouts.
Irish take over, 1st and 10.
And certainly a much better field position here for the Irish. We'll see what Coach Taveau, the offensive coordinator for Father Ryan, see what he has in store coming up on this drive, because Father Ryan desperately needs a score, as you mentioned earlier, Lou, with only 2 minutes remaining in this first half, down 36-0.
So the Irish will send Seamus O'Connell, the receiver, to the far side. David Ward, receiver, to the near side. The running back, Antonio Wright. Quarterback, DC Tabscott. On this 1st and 10, Brewers in the slot on the near side. It's going to be blocking for Antonio Wright, and he'll gain 2, maybe 3 yards. But again, that's the defensive line. There just has not been much room at all.
Devin Curtis.
So it was a linebacker, Curtis, on the stop for the Eagles. 3-yard gain. The clock runs, 1:42 to go, second quarter. Substitution at the H-back position. Noah Haley comes to the sideline, replaced by Nick Watson. Watson will go as a 4th receiver, very versatile. Nearly a jump by BA, a good timing on that one. Pass is incomplete, intended for Nick Watson.
Pass intended for number 38.
So it's 3rd and 7.
Incomplete, 3rd and 7.
A big 3rd and 7 coming up here for Father Ryan. They only have 1:22 to work with. So we will see what they will be setting up here on offense. I would imagine that Coach Taveau would have DC throw it to someone, and especially to keep the clock, keep as much time on the clock as possible.
Well, we'll see. 19 seconds on the play clock, so they're going to talk it over. Erdman into the game at receiver. He'll be the slot receiver on that far side. Seamus O'Connell on that far side as well. 2 receivers to the near side for Tabscott. 3rd and 7. 1:22 to go here in the second quarter. It's going to be a deep throw by Tabscott to go over everybody's head. O'Connell the closest receiver there, but under pressure. He really just had to uncork that one.
Right.
See if Seamus can get to it.
And the play action pass is nothing doing there for Father Ryan Irish, setting up a 4th and 7, then they will go ahead and punt it.
That's where the advantage for Brentwood Academy, when you're able to stymie the run, you don't have your safeties necessarily biting on the play fake. As a result, and BA brought enough pressure as it was that Tabscott didn't have much time to think about it. So it's another punt for Zach Wisnowski. It's a skying punt. Bounce, take an Irish roll. Let's be fielded. This could be dangerous. That's a newer to the 40. And he finally, 5 Father Ryan defenders will stop his forward progress at the Brentwood Academy 45-yard line. So Anur, the senior, has had a very good first half for Brentwood Academy. It's been all Eagles, 36-0 on the Irish.
Who takes the ball to the 47-yard line.
And for Father Ryan here, the only thing that they would need to be able to do is just to keep BA just as far into their own zone as possible, because it's only 56 seconds left. You certainly do not want another score on the scoreboard.
Well, 36-0 against the 3-time defending state champs is a difficult task, even at home. But you hope Father Ryan can get to the locker room with nothing further damage-wise, although BA gets to receive the kickoff to start the second half as the result of deferring after winning the opening coin flip. For this BA team, they seem rejuvenated this week. It just, especially as they got tired in the heat and humidity against Hillsborough last week. But not the case tonight. They're going to have 5 wide receivers whenever they finally figure out what the issue is with the officials and they're going to talk to someone down that Brentwood Academy side. Not sure if it's the individual holding the first down marker or what. BA is going to send his players over to the far side. There's this sort of equipment timeout of some sort. Looks like the chains may have an issue.
Seems as like the chain has come loose.
So it's both teams a chance to talk things over a little bit.
How about some Irish trivia? The most recent Irish Eyes Alumni Magazine includes a feature on Tom Morales of the class of 1972. Tom's success as a restaurateur
other games tonight, and I'll do my best to get scores when I can. It's like juggling up here.
And now the newly opened
going to have Stratford. Be interesting to see how they end up faring against Hillsborough. Hillsborough team looked very good against BA 1 week ago. Stratford, Father Ryan's opponent, 1 week from tonight.
Absolutely. Hopefully Father Ryan will be able to turn it around against Stratford next week. Certainly an opponent that they should be able to, but we shall see coming up next week. But now their focus is for sure is just to try and close the gap here against BA.
Stop the bleeding.
Absolutely.
With a 36-0 hole. This is not what the Irish faithful were hoping for. Father Ryan with that convincing win over Overton to open the season, but Brentwood Academy brought their A game, to be sure.
There is no doubt about that. BA certainly showed, they certainly showing a different side of themselves compared to their Hillsborough game last week.
Well, Hillsborough, they've got a pretty sizable line on both sides, and that's, you know, again, Father Ryan's got some individual players with some size, but the battle for the line of scrimmage on both sides thus far has been in the favor of the Eagles. So finally, we're going to get back to action here. 56 seconds to go, second quarter. Brentwood Academy leads Father Ryan 36-0, and they have the ball. And they get the ball to start the second half. Williams, under pressure, be sacked. Father Ryan defense brings the pressure. Forrest Dingler.
Quarterback brought down in the backfield by number 86, Forrest Dingler.
Well done there by Forrest Dingler.
So it's a timeout, Brentwood Academy.
Brentwood Academy calls timeout.
It'll be 2nd and 18, 8-yard loss after the sack. There are multiple players in there for the Irish, but it's Dingler that finally brought down Williams. And again, that's what I saw against Hillsborough. It was Williams back there looking, you know, perhaps not in tune with his teammates. And while Pleasant had a very strong running game and Williams had a couple of runs himself, I figured the Irish would key on the run. But it's easy to say key on the run. I know they'd actually stop Tamario Pleasant. And when you give up a defensive touchdown like the Irish did early as well, that's just bad to worse.
Yeah, absolutely. And Father Ryan here, they really need to turn it around and just be able to just contain BA. Although they have taken a timeout here, they certainly need to contain BA and not allow them to keep going down the field.
Both teams have 2 timeouts remaining. 47 seconds to go, first half. The Eagles leading Father Ryan 36-0.
One located near the scoreboard at the south end of the stadium, and one at the entrance to the field house. Now accepting credit cards.
So here comes Brentwood Academy back to the line of scrimmage, ball at the Eagles' 39-yard line, 2nd and 18, 47 seconds to go in the second quarter, and the Eagles leading by 36 points. Irish only bring 3. Williams gets all day, throws deep, incomplete. Again, that looked like something out of the Hillsborough game. You know, the protection was there, but just the pass inaccurate. But when you're up by 36 points, you know, accuracy, if you're going to miss long. And that's what he did there. So that makes it 3rd and 18 with 40 seconds to go in the second quarter, and BA up by 36 points.
That's right. And credit to BA's offensive line for being able to protect against Father Ryan's defensive line here, especially was against players such as David Russell.
Billy Brooks in at running back. They benched James after his fumble earlier, the freshman. So 3rd and 18, Williams under pressure. You got a freshman chasing after him. Tiptoes on the sidelines, brought out of bounds. Being forced out on that far side by Matthew Zito. Torrey Heron, for being as big as he
after
is,
him as well,
from the nose tackle position. That's the kind of hustle you want to see.
Absolutely.
Clock stops with Williams going out of bounds at the 29-second mark of this second quarter. On 4th and 24, we'll finally get to see Brentwood Academy punting the ball. Parker Erdman deep to return. Irish brings some pressure. It's a high spinning kick. Erdman calls for the fair catch and makes it at the 33-yard line. Father Ryan has 63 yards to get to the end zone. 20 seconds to do so. 2 timeouts.
You certainly wouldn't think that Father Ryan would try and go for it with such little time remaining in the first half, but then again, you never know, especially being down 36-0. Crazier things have happened.
May see a draw, a receiver screen, something to see if they can pick up a large chunk of yardage.
Right.
So they'll send Seamus O'Connell, the receiver, on that far side. Bunched up, H-back. Bad snap, picked up, be handed to Antonio Wright. If he got back to the line of scrimmage, looks like he did maybe a half yard on the game. Victory on the stop. Victory had a very good game 1 week ago against Hillsborough. The clock runs. I think that's going to do it.
first half.
Neither time particularly team inclined to stop the
Your
clock.
score, Brentwood Academy 36,
So
Father
that's
Ryan
going to
0.
take us to halftime. Brentwood Academy leads 36-0. They get the ball to start the second half, and we're going to have a running clock when that happens. So the first half has been all BA.
10 yards, Tatum Montreal, 20 yards. It's been all the crazy thing is, they got to kick off for us. David Owens makes a fair catch.
To start the second half, it is a fair catch on the opening kickoff by number 2, Damon Owens. Brentwood Academy ball, 1st and 10.
Stays up by 35, and the Eagles, Wade Williams keeps it again, 35-40, go Wade, 50, the foot race, 40, 30, 25, 20, Williams knocked out of bounds. I mean,
Quarterback Wade Williams with a carry.
Yard carry for Wade Williams, and the defensive coordinator.
Run out of bounds by number 31, Hunter Hopkins. Ball spotted the 17, 1st down.
First and 10 from the 17. Fake to Brooks. They're going to throw the inside screen to Lovins. Is it Victory? Might have gotten close. Are they going to get it to him? Nope. Just down to the 1. I'm sorry, I said Lovins. It was Victory. Chris, 2 plays.
Pass is complete and carries the ball down to the 1-yard line. 1st and goal.
Father Ryan would have come out with something ready to go. Williams stops, gives it to Brooks.
Hand it off to Brooks, and he will punch it into the end zone. Touchdown, Brentwood Academy.
Going off of what they did in the first half, they are not letting up against Father Ryan here. Making it 42-0 here already in the first half. We have.
It's actually Pleasant. Sorry to interrupt you there. It's Pleasant into the game. Moved him in there quickly in this angle.
Correction, carry by number 1, Billy Brooks.
Yeah, I was right. It was Brooks.
Okay.
So credit Brooks, Billy Brooks, the 1-yard touchdown from the senior. Not only plays receiver, but in this one, playing a running back. We have whistles and a flag. The extra point went through the uprights, but that one won't count.
There was a dead ball penalty before the extra point attempt.
So it is a false start on
False
Brentwood
start
Academy.
against Brentwood Academy to be 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
Better than the last time there was a penalty on an extra point. It was against the Irish in the first half.
Right. And this is certainly something you just don't want to see for Father Ryan. It's something demoralizing to have yourselves down 42-0 here already in just in the second half.
Extra point, 5 yards back. The same result for Brentwood
Extra
Academy.
point
It's
attempt is
good.
up and good.
And with the running clock for Father Ryan here, they're certainly going to need to get the offense in high gear if they want to score any more points and try and cut into the huge lead that BA has.
All right,
Well,
let's drop any
Let's hear it from
pretense
all
about
of
Father
you in the
Ryan coming back to win this
stands
one. It's 43-0.
received
At
the
this
report
point,
on
you've
the
got to figure out what you can
American
do
for the first half,
in real-time
and it
game
is impressive.
situations to prepare yourself for
You
on
all
down the
donated
line.
Right.
$1,446.05
Very
to
disappointing
Relay for
outcome
Life in just 60
for
seconds.
Father Ryan.
Thank you all for your generosity and
I'd
support.
love for them to prove me wrong.
We look forward to seeing
But
all of you at Relay for
43-0
Life here on September 27th.
with a running clock. It's just not realistic. So BA is going to kick off. They've either managed to break the plane to the end zone or get it inside the 10-yard line every time. The luxury of having a kickoff specialist like Cameron Hawkins. And I say that they have Hawkins out, and Paxton Perry, their place kicker, is going to give it a try. High spinner, returnable. Erdman has it from the 4 to the 10 to the 15 to the 20. Looks for a seam, gets it to the 25, and will be tackled at the 27-yard line. Nice return there by Erdman for Father Ryan.
Return, the kickoff, number 38, Nick Watson.
I looked at halftime for the Hillsborough-Stratford score. If those teams are playing, nobody's talking about it on Twitter. There's nothing. So I don't know what's going on with that, but only reason...
Certainly is an interest, a matchup of interest since Father Ryan does have Stratford coming up next week. And it's certainly even more interesting because Hillsborough played BA last week and kept it, relatively close.
So it'll be interesting to see how that one played out. Here come the Irish. Down by 43 points with a running clock here in the third quarter. Tabscott, 1st and 10, is going to hand it off. And Gore, big number 55 in there for Brentwood Academy.
Antonio Wright, tackle, number 55, Thomas Gore. So loss of 2, 2nd and 12.
A tackle for loss for Thomas Gore. Antonio Wright, like several times in this game, a tackle for loss against him, but not because of his own doing, just because there's nothing there.
Yeah, and BA just continuing what they started in the first half, just absolutely swallowing Father Ryan's attempts just to get the ball on the ground past them.
2nd and 12 for the Irish. Tabscott throws to the near side, complete. Not enough for a first down, but that'll pick up 4 or 5 yards on that one. Josh Pfeiffer,
pass complete to
the
number 2,
reception.
Josh Pfeiffer.
Pfeiffer's first varsity
Tackled
reception.
by number 17, Amir Anur.
So it
Pick
was
up a
Amir
4,
Anur
3rd and 6.
on the stop. Amir is a sophomore. 3rd and 6. 6 minutes and counting, third quarter. Brentwood Academy leading 43-0 on Father Ryan. It's 4 receivers, 2 to the near side, bunched up, and then 2 spread out on that far side. Tabscott fakes the handoff. They're going to set up the receiver screen, but he throws it high over the head of Antonio Wright. That brings up 4th and 6.
That was a great thought there by DC to try and dump it off to Antonio Wright, but just not quite enough communication there to get it done.
That will bring Zach Wesnowski, the sophomore kicker, onto the field to punt it once again. Tyra Noor, senior return man, back to field it for the Eagles. Brentwood Academy, they've got JP2 next week. I was talking to the BA broadcaster. They got some good broadcasters over there. It was fun talking with them. As Wisnowski skies a kick. They'll take an Irish bounce. Anur is going to field it, fumbles it. Ball is loose. Father Ryan seems to think they have it.
There's a fumble on the punt return.
And Father Ryan does have it.
Father Ryan.
I suppose when you're at 43-0, you can throw caution to the wind like that. Anur is a dangerous player, but he never really had a good grip on it.
The fumble is recovered by number 17, Jaden Johnson.
And a breath of fresh air for Father Ryan. Hopefully they can get something started here.
Ball spotted at the 20.
With such great field position on BA's 32-yard line.
We'll say the recovery by the sophomore Jaden Johnson, 5'8", 133 pounds is his listing information, but in there on special teams, able to make the recovery after the Anur fumble. So maybe Father Ryan can get it going now. 1st and 10, ball at the BA 32-yard line, and the Eagles leading 43-0. From the gun, it's going to be a handoff. Marion Ford, the freshman, gets his first carry of the game, picks up 2 yards.
And a great 3 or 4 yard or 2 yard pickup there by Antonio Wright. Certainly want to see him keep getting fed the ball and hopefully wear down the BA D line.
2nd and 8, less than 4 minutes to go with the running clock here in this third quarter. And Brentwood Academy leading 43-0. Tabscott out of the gun. He's going to hand it off to Ford, who cuts back, makes another nice cut. Has a first down, has it close to 1st and goal. A nice run by the freshman. Picks up 9, maybe 10 yards. And
Ball spotted at the 10-yard line.
It'll be 1st and goal for the first time this game for the Irish.
Excuse me, yes, that was a Marion Ford on that last play as well. Excuse me for that.
Irish get quick to the line. Haven't had many opportunities like that tonight. And that's typically how they end up finding success on offense. It's a handoff. Ford manages to stay upright. He'll gain a yard or 2. And then a big scrum between the two teams.
Number
And
21,
they'll blow the play dead.
Ford with a carry. Brought down by number 55, Thomas Gore.
So Gore again with a
Ball
stop.
spotted at the 9, gain of 1, 2nd
And
and
it
goal.
is good to see Father Ryan still pushing and pushing here in BA's red zone. We'll see what Coach Rector has lined up for here for the next play.
Fun to see Ford getting in there making those cuts. Again, just a freshman. but he played last week. Had a couple of carries. This week, a couple of carries as well, as Noah Haley checks into the game at the H-back position for Father Ryan. He'll be on the near side. It's bunched up. One receiver on either side. And it's going to be Ford once again.
Marion Ford with a
And
carry,
Marion
brought
Ford will
down by
pick up.
number 7, Grant Stacy.
Well, we'll see where they spot the ball.
Ball spotted at the 8-yard line.
So they'll
Another
say-
gain of 1, 3rd and goal.
So back-to-back 1-yard gains. Irish looking at 3rd and goal from the 8. They have to get it in the end zone. They cannot get a first down, absent a penalty. So substitutions for the Irish.
Parker Ehrman came in for the game.
So on 3rd and goal from the 8 with a 3-receiver look. Tabscott surveys it. He's going to be spun around. It's technically a 1-yard gain.
Quarterback DC Tabscott carries the ball, brought down by number 8, Devin Curtis.
And so the inside linebacker Curtis, the junior, with the stop after maybe a half-yard gain.
7-yard line, 4th and goal.
So Father Ryan will try and put some points on the board. At the 1:20 mark of the 3rd quarter, down 43-0. It's going to be Zach Wisnowski.
Number 98, Zach Wisnowski.
Gets that snap down. The kick is up, and it's
Field goal
good.
is up, and it's good.
Well done there by Zach Wisnowski to get his second field goal of the year
1 minute remaining
made.
in the 3rd quarter.
So Father Ryan, if nothing else,
Father Ryan
manages
3.
to spoil the shutout for BA. It'll still be a running clock when they get action going again. It's a 40-point lead for Brentwood Academy, but at least the Irish get on the board.
For
No
over
goose
50
egg.
years, Hunt Brothers Pizza has been providing delicious pizza when you want it, where you want it, and how you want
Again,
it.
next week, Father Ryan at home against Stratford. 3 home games to start this 2018 season.
And 3 games in August as well. Something certainly a little bit different than last year.
Yeah, certainly. Last year was supposed to be 3 road games. Again, every 2 years they do it. This is the 2nd year, and it usually mirrors the first year, unless there's some sort of a odd one-off. Like BA's got a team from Canada coming down later this year. Seriously, wow, playing under American rules, I presume. But
well, hopefully.
yeah, you would think. They only played 9 regular season games last year because of weather-related concerns with an opponent from Florida.
Right.
Although for Father Ryan, it's not anything like that this year. I mean, it's all Middle Tennessee games except for the late season trip down to Chattanooga to take on Baylor. Everything else, you know, Hendersonville, that's be as far of a drive as I'm going to have to make, aside from the game in Chattanooga.
And it certainly benefits the Irish nation, especially since they don't have to travel too far for most of their games.
And that's ideal. I mean, it's fun to play good teams from other places, but you look at that Division II AAA schedule, the murderer's row of opponents. And I give Father Ryan a lot of credit, the fact that they book teams like Brentwood High and Ravenwood as non-Division II AAA games.
Right.
Not just trying to pad the win-loss record. And the Irish beat Ravenwood last year on that Jackson Bird fake field goal touchdown.
One of the most unbelievable plays in Father Ryan history.
Really was.
From 7 to 10 p.m. And the father-daughter dance is on Sunday, 7 to 10 p.m.
Less than a minute to go here in this 3rd quarter. And again, the clock is stuffed, but there will be a running clock once the ball is kicked off. So for Father Ryan, the downside to starting with 3 home games is that 5 of your final 7 regular season games are on the road. That's just the math of it. Unless you have a fluke like last year where Stratford had to play a home game here because of flooding. So Wisnowski with a high spinner, fielded to the 18, to the 25, to the 30, to the 35. Irish need to make a tackle, finally do. Good job on the return, like Elijah Easley, or Ely, I should say. Number 42. Yeah, it is Elijah Ely. 5'10", 150-pound sophomore.
To the 36-yard line will be
for Father Ryan's defensive stand coming up here, they're certainly going to be thinking about containment here and finding a way to match up well against these very elusive BA players on offense.
It's going to be interesting to see. BA, their starters didn't get much rest. So many guys playing both ways last season. And the backup is back in at quarterback. Montiel. He's going to throw the lefty. to the outside. Screen pass is complete, and it's going to go for a first down. Ball comes out, but I believe the receiver was already down.
There's a fumble on the play. The pass
Manny
is complete.
Scott on the reception.
Moves the ball to the 48-yard line. It's recovered by Brentwood Academy. That is the last play of the third quarter.
So that's going to do it for 3 quarters here at Giacosa Stadium. After 3, your score, Brentwood Academy 43, Father Ryan 3. We'll be right back here on ATW Sportscast. We start the 4th quarter here at Giacosa Stadium. 1st and 10. BA runs up the middle. Irish able to plug up the hole. Maybe a half-yard gain at best.
By number 23, Shane Farrow.
So Farrow on the run. His first carry of the game. BA works in some bench players here. Again, a running clock with Father Ryan down by 40 here in this 4th quarter. Out of the gun. Set up that receiver screen again, wide open. Irish try to close. Final be Anthony Wright making the tackle in Father Ryan territory on the 46-yard line. So a 6-yard gain on that one. So 3rd and 4 for BA, up by 40 points. Montiel, the backup quarterback, in there. And we get a whistle. Almost always is going to be a false start on that particular official. And that backside's indeed.
Calls a false start against Brentwood Academy to a 5-yard penalty. It's going to bring up 3rd and 9.
So 3rd down and 9 for BA here in this 4th quarter.
And for Father Ryan coming up here, hopefully with his longer 3rd down coming up, 3rd and 9, should be able to match up well against BA since it's only 3 wide, but we shall see how they will set up here, and it looks like they want to pass.
Montiel, the lefty, with 4 receivers, fakes the handoff. They're going to go with another receiver screen. This time it's dropped.
Pass is incomplete. It's going to bring up 4th down.
And a fortunate drop there by BA. Father Ryan now will be able to receive the punt here.
So waiting for the
10 minutes remaining.
It was Ely, intended receiver. Had to wait for him to turn sideways so I could see his number. So 4th and 9 as we pass 10 minutes to go 4th quarter in a game that has been almost all Brentwood Academy. Expected a close one and a hard fight, but BA came in here.
They had a
set
whole
the
different
tone early.
idea.
They sure did. A different BA team than saw on video 1 week ago.
There was a penalty on the play. It was a false start against Brentwood Academy. The penalty is declined. 4th down.
Okay, they say a false start. A false start's an automatic whistle. You can't decline it, so I don't know what that was. We got a running clock, so this is what we're looking at. 43-3, Brentwood Academy, but the Irish get the stop. So on 4th and 9, Parker Erdman, rare opportunity. Only the 2nd time in this game for him to field a punt. A spinner toward the far side. That goes out of bounds. It'll depend on where the referees say it crossed the sideline where they'll mark it.
The ball is spotted at the 31-yard line where the Irish take over 1st and 10. You've been waiting for the answer to Father Ryan's
one update score-wise. NBA now leads Pearl-Cohn 10-0 early in the 3rd quarter. That's the last word.
He feasted on opposing quarterbacks, racking up 14 interceptions that
And again,
season.
if Hillsborough and Stratford are playing tonight, nobody's talking about it on Twitter. I've looked, and that score just isn't there. So.
NBA in a matchup of 9-0 Powers in front of 24,000 at Vanderbilt.
So on 1st and 10 with a running clock, Irish go 4 wide receivers. Tabscott throws over the middle, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver. Sets up 2nd and 10.
After their loss to NBA, they tied Gallatin a few weeks later in the Clinic Bowl. Tom Morales now shares the record with one other player, and a third came within a whisker of joining them. 40 years after Tom's feat, Father Ryan's Ryan Bossy.
Parker Erdman, the intended receiver on that last play. 2nd and 10, Father Ryan from the Irish 31-yard line. They trail by 40. Going to hand the ball off, and there is just nowhere to go for Jaden Robinson. He is a talented running back,
22, Jaden Robinson.
but he had no chance there. BA just blew it up.
Absolutely. And Father Ryan's just going to look for anything they can to just get some good reps in for their players and hopefully move the ball down the field against a tough BA squad.
Brock Carlson into the game, the offensive line, number 70 for the Irish. 3rd and 13. 7:20 to go, 4th quarter. Brentwood Academy leads Father Ryan 43-3. It's 4 receivers, 3 to the near side for Tab Scott. He's going to move the freshman Robinson to his left side. He's going to throw deep. A jump ball falls incomplete. Pair of number 17's vying for it.
17, Jaden Johnson is incomplete.
Jaden Johnson, the intended receiver, the
Defended by number
sophomore.
12, Wade Williams. Correction, number 17, Amir Anur.
So it was Amir
Brings up
Anur,
4th down.
step for step, with Jaden Johnson. 4th and 13, Father Ryan is going to line up to punt again. Skying, fair catch called for and made at the 30-yard line by Brentwood Academy. The running clock continues, less than 6.5 minutes to go in this 4th quarter. You know the Irish should be glad to get this one over and done with.
There's no doubt about that. Father Ryan is going to want to put this one away as soon as they can because they are, I'm sure, already looking forward to Stratford next week, which will hopefully be a very favorable matchup for the Irish here at home.
Again, that sets up 2 weeks from tonight. JP2 hosting the Irish. Father Ryan tries to win back the Bishop's Cup. I've said that it's not a true rivalry until a traveling trophy is defended successfully by both sides. We've now had that. The JP2 winning the last 2 regular season games. BA on the carry on 1st down. Father Ryan able to stymie that attack.
23,
Shane Farrow on the run. Lost 2 yards.
Number 15, Anthony Wright.
And
Loss of 2, 2nd
And the
12.
Bishop's Cup matchup that you mentioned 2 weeks from now will be an absolutely electric game for Father Ryan, especially since they want to try and take back the cup and bring it back to Norwood.
Of course, Father Ryan won the playoffs at JP2 last season on 2nd and 12. It's a long run. And just overpowering the Father Ryan defenders is that running back.
Now, you're right. Of course, although Father Ryan did lose the Bishop's Cup in the regular season, they certainly turned that tide around with their win against JP2 in the playoffs, which was just absolutely amazing to see.
Russell Holbrook, the sophomore on the run, gets a 1st down for Brentwood Academy. They're going to hand it off to him again, and he'll gain maybe 1 yard on that one. Less than 5 minutes to go, 4th quarter. Brentwood Academy leading Father Ryan 43-3.
Just a reminder about the shuttle. If you need to catch the shuttle back to
And
the
for
church
Father Ryan
parking
here,
lots,
I'm sure they'll
please
just
go
be
back to the
trying to
front
communicate
of
any
campus
simple
across
plays
the
that they
bridge.
can just to get their
We will
players
direct
any
you to
reps
the
that they
shuttle
can
pickup point.
so that they
Shuttles
can
will be
prepare
running
next week
60
for
minutes after
Stratford.
the game's conclusion.
It's 3 receivers, 2 to the near side on this 2nd and 9. Yeah, handoff. Look like Holbrook again on the carry, number 35.
35, Russell Holbrook with a carry, tackled by number 22, Jaden Robinson. Ball spotted at the 49-yard line of Father Ryan, 3rd and 5.
Jaden Robinson, the freshman, getting playing time on both sides of the ball. Credited for the tackle on that one. Less than 4 minutes to go. 3rd and 5, Brentwood Academy. They're going to hand it off and run up the middle again. Irish get the stop after about a 3-yard gain, be about 2 yards shy of the yardage needed to get a 1st down.
Carry number 35, Russell Holbrook.
And as we mentioned,
Ball
JP2
started
earlier
the
in this
46-yard
game,
line,
they are up
4th and
20-10 over
4th and 2.
Lipscomb in the 3rd quarter right now.
It's actually Shane Farrow on the carry right there. What'd you say? I'm sorry, Austin. I was looking down, not listening. You said the score?
Yes, so for JP2, they are up 20-10 over Lipscomb in the 3rd quarter as of now.
Lipscomb hanging around.
Absolutely. Lipscomb's not quite expected to do so well this season, but they've kept it close with Ensworth, and they already are keeping it close with JP2.
Father Ryan goes for, or should say BA goes for it, 4th and 2. There was a fumble. Irish recover, but it really doesn't matter either way. It's either a turnover on downs or a recovered fumble.
Looks like it is a turnover on downs. It'll be Father Ryan ball, 1st and 10.
So the Irish give the fans who have stuck around here something to cheer about. The running clock continues, less than 3 minutes to go in this 4th quarter. Father Ryan down by 40.
And for Father Ryan coming up here, I can only imagine, as we mentioned earlier, they're beginning some reps just to prepare for the Stratford game next week, which I'm sure will be a very interesting matchup since they are, I can only assume, keeping it close with Hillsborough, but we don't know the score quite yet.
I wouldn't presume that at all. Hillsborough looked really good week 1. I cannot say the same from what I saw limited gameplay-wise from Stratford. Less than 2.5 minutes to go, 4th quarter, the running clock. 1st and 10, Father Ryan. Tabscott's going to hand it off. Run to this near side. Breaks a couple of tackles. And up for a 1st down. A nice run by Jaden Robinson. And coming into this game, I thought Robinson might be a key for Father Ryan. He's got that larger size physical player. But that's just not the way it's played out for the Irish tonight. So 9 yards on the carry. 2 minutes to go, 4th quarter. Brentwood Academy leads 43-3. It'll be Tabscott again out of the shotgun. Send his receiver over far side for blocking purposes in the H-back. It's going to be another handoff and a run up the middle.
Carry up the middle, takes the ball inside the 40. It's a Father Ryan 1st down.
So Jaden Robinson, back-to-back carries. That gets the Irish a 1st down. Ball will be spotted at the Brentwood Academy 40-yard line. Less than a minute and a half to go in this game. That Brentwood Academy coming in here and dispelling any hopes that, and really BA's side thought it was going to be close too from what they were telling me. So it's going to be another run by the freshman. That far side, he's got a 1st down. Be tackled at the 28-yard line. So Jaden Robinson, you want to find a silver lining for the Irish. Now granted, BA does have its backups in there at this point. But nevertheless, he's breaking tackles and moving the ball. So Father Ryan trying to get one last scoring if they can. Tabscott's going to roll to the near side. Has a receiver open, throws.
And a great throw. Oh.
Parker Erdman was there. It's about a half step overthrown. Trusted Erdman's speed just a little bit too much. He's got quickness, but a little too far for him on that one.
Almost an amazing opportunity for Father Ryan to get their first touchdown of the night.
And that was Erdman. I heard Nick Watson's name mentioned. The 8 and the 9 in those jerseys. Much as I love the new uniforms, they can be a little bit tough to read in defense. So coming up on 20 seconds, Tabscott, 2nd and 10. He's going to throw over the middle, complete. Now that's going to go inside the 10 to the 5-yard line. 1st down for Father Ryan. They may not get into the playoff. Well, they've stopped the clock for some reason. Look at the running clock. I'll take that for Father Ryan.
Pass complete to number 39, Parker Erdman.
So Erdman, one play after the ball went over about a half step too far, made a nice move there. Wind the clock, 10 seconds to go. Can the Irish punch it in? Running up the middle.
Jay Robinson with the carry.
And Robinson
at the 3-yard line.
Had nowhere to go. And that's going to be the final play of this game.
Will take us to the end of the ball game.
So Brentwood Academy comes into Giacosa Stadium and hangs 43 on the Irish.
Thank you, ladies and
So
gentlemen, for coming
congratulations to BA moving 2-0 in the season. Father Ryan loses its first Division II AAA game of 2018. Irish fall to 1-1, but 1 week from tonight, back here on the campus of Father Ryan High School, Stratford comes in. Anything else, Austin?
And certainly such a great game by BA. They did a marvelous job of just absolutely destroying Father Ryan. Father Ryan, their communication just wasn't up quite enough for this game, so they'll have a lot to work on for this coming week for their upcoming game against Stratford. So certainly we will see what the Irish will be able to do to try and improve for next week, but hopefully we will see something like we did against Overton coming up next week.
Well, I'll be determined 1 week from tonight. So for Austin Wright and everybody associated with Behind the Crest and ATW Sportscast, I'm Lou Pickney saying so long. Your final score, Brentwood Academy 43, Father Ryan 3. We'll see you 1 week from tonight.